There we go. It took forever to start. Sorry, I was sitting there waiting on doing a opening, and it was like taking. It took like 5 minutes to start the stream. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this discussion on Combiner Wars, Part 2. It's funny. I've been meaning to do this for a while, and today would be the perfect day to do it. And before I did it, I went back and watched my first installment, my first discussion on Combiner Wars videos, and I was wearing this shirt. So, canon. Whatever. Whatever works. So this is part 2 of my discussion on Combiner Wars. And I think it's good to do follow-ups like this because lots of stuff has happened in Combiner Wars. That first video went up almost 6 months ago, and what a crazy half of a year it's been. When I made that video, I had 4/5 of Superion. I was missing Air Raid. And now I have all of Wave 2, most of Wave 3, some of Wave 4. So we're chugging along. The only people I'm really missing is I'm missing Cyclonus, maybe the White Optimus. I don't even know, but I don't, So that's what I'm missing. Good Lord. Email after email after email. Leave me alone, people. But I wanted to talk about Combiner Wars so far and what I think is going to be going on. Because let's take a gander here. They're all up there above me. I'm making sure I don't take. By the way, I got my new quadcopter. So that's cool. Glad I got that in the mail. So I'm going to pull these guys down. There's Defensor. He's up front because he's the shortest. We got our old buddy Superion, who's finished. Thank goodness. The last time y'all saw him in this particular video thing, he was not done. So we got Menasor. So there's that. He's gonna have to go over here. And then the Optimus Combiner. And he's gonna have to sit up here. I'm running out of room. So that's who I have so far. I really like him. My first video, I talked a lot about the engineering and what I liked about the design of the aerial bots and how they were all kind of the same transformation, but they had different aspects to their transformation. So that's still very much true. I do like that about the aerial bots. However, as Combiner Wars has progressed, we have seen more of a difference in molds and the way molds are. We've seen a lot of reuses of molds, but we haven't seen, like, for example, none of the Menasor guys transform in the same way. They all transform differently. So that's cool. However, as you continue on, there's nothing new. There is Wave 3 has some new stuff. So in terms of limbs, mostly with Wave 1 and Wave 2, you've got a good idea what the deluxes are going to look like for the rest of the series, or not the series, the line. You have a pretty good idea what they're going to look like. For example, we got, like I said, I talked about Superion. All his limbs transform very similarly. Right? Then we over here, Drag Strip's new, Dead End was new, Break very similarly to an aerial bot. Very, very similarly. Then moving into Wave 3. I mean, you got the new Voyager. Alpha Bravo. Blades is just Alpha Bravo. First Aid is Off-Road. Streetwise, I'm blanking on his name. Dead End. They're very similar. Rook is new, so that's a good one. You get a Rook is one of my favorite molds, and he's a good one. But what I'm saying is, with some design changes, you're basically looking at the same thing over and over and over, and they do a good job of keeping it fresh. They did a great job of changing it up, making it a whole lot better than it could have been. They could have just been a bunch of repaints, and that would have sucked. But with the Wave 3 guys, it's starting to get a little repetitive, and especially into Wave 4. I mean, with the exception of this being the Streetwise mold, these two transform they transform the exact same. With some minor differences, these guys are pretty daggone close to being the same. I mean, I've fan moded Optimus a little bit, but they're very, very close to being the same figure. Very. So, you know, as we move forward, the thing I want to make sure doesn't happen, and I know the next wave, because Optimus is wave 4. The next wave is Bruticus, and hallelujah, I'm going to be getting that Combiner Wars Bruticus. Hopefully it'll be out when I'm at BotCon in 2016, which, by the way, I'm going to BotCon in 2016. I learned that, and I jumped for joy because that was cool that it's going to be close enough to me where I can just drive. I can just head on over there. It's only 2 hours from here where it's going to be. So I'm excited to go to BotCon 2016, and hopefully Bruticus is out by that time because I'd love to pick up Combiner Wars Bruticus at BotCon. So the next wave is going to be Bruticus, and what we're looking at is we're looking at the hotspot mold, just flipped around in a different direction. We're looking at Rook. Let me pull him out here. Looking at Rook done up as Swindle, which is going to be different. He's going to be all right. Blades as Vortex. Then we got nobody else off him. Then Blastoff is going to be the Firefly mold. And then Brawl is going to be a brand new mold. So that's going to be cool to see what Brawl's like. So I'm excited to see what Brawl is like at least. And then your next wave, you got Skylynx, which is going to be neat. He's a brand new mold, but that's a Voyager. So the Voyagers have been pretty different so far. We have 3 unique Voyager molds. You could even argue 3.5 because Motormaster's so daggum different from Optimus. So basically 3 torso molds so far, and that's pretty good. You're looking at Cyclonus is a Silverbolt again. Then you're gonna have Onslaught, who's gonna be a really different take on this guy. Like, he might as well not be the same. He's got the same basic skeleton, but Onslaught might as well not be the same as Defensor or Hotspot, because Hotspot it's just totally different. The chest is different. The only thing that's very similar is the legs. The way the arms, the shoulders transforms, totally different. The way that the chest unfolds, totally different. I think the way the head comes out is totally different. So Onslaught and Brawl are going to be the highlights of that wave 5. So the next wave. And then I don't know after that. We have images of Scattershot, which can we just talk about how crappy that Scattershot looks. Here's the deal. I don't care if he is the Silverbolt mold. It works. It's a good mold, good torso. Change the head and change these little torso flaps right here. If see this red and white area right here, if that was different and the head was different, I'd be fine with it. I'd be totally fine with it. Be like, all right, cool, that makes sense. But as far as we know, they're leaving the head the same and the chest the same, and I'm not a fan of that. So it's kind of sucky because Computron's my favorite Autobot combiner, and if he does not come to fruition in the best way possible, I'm going to be a little upset because ultimately my thoughts on Combiner Wars so far is it feels like the way we're going, the direction we're going, it feels like we're about to jump the shark. It feels like we have done all this amazing stuff. We started out with a really good first wave. Then we went into a really good second wave where everything was good. We went into a really good third wave, which, by the way, this is my favorite wave so far. Everybody that's been redone, except Blades has not been redone, but still, his colors are cool. With everybody that was redone in this, and Hotspot is definitely the best Voyager toy, I think, totally. First Aid, Streetwise, Rook, this is the best wave of Combiner Wars so far. Don't get me wrong. I think Bruticus wave is going to be my favorite. A little bit biased. But wave 3 so far has been the best. So we took what was familiar from wave 1 and wave 2, and we upgraded it a little bit, threw in a couple new guys, and brought back some old friends and made them a little bit better. Wave 3 did a lot of really good work. Then we get to wave 4. There's some novelty to this. I agree. That's why I bought it. It's really cool to have a G1 Autobot combiner. But at the core, like I said earlier, this might as well be the Stunticons. It's the same daggum thing. They're just different colors. Now, nobody's been upgraded or changed around. It's it's the same. You know, it's these guys are what we've seen before. So I feel like we were like riding up the hill, like if we're on a roller coaster, we're like up to the top. And we get to the top and we're like, oh, we're starting to come down. We're starting to come down. It's not going necessarily, I don't know if it's going to be a fast drop, it's going to be a slow drop, whatever it is. Good Lord. Well, there's an emergency going on somewhere. Anyway, wave 4 is cool. Don't get me wrong. I like it for what it is. But when you come from wave 3 and going into wave 4 and you're like, oh, this better not be the direction we're headed. This better not be the direction we're headed, because we got wave 5, which should be another wave 3 type wave. It's going to be like, oh, everything, you know, it works. It's good. We have a couple good ones, couple familiar ones, but everybody else has been upgraded a little bit. I'm expecting wave 5 to feel a lot like wave 3. Then we got wave 6, and we have a new Voyager coming out, but with that new Voyager, we get these limbs again. This guy's going to be Smokescreen, Trailbreaker. We're not going to have Mirage. Wheeljack will be this. And then we'll have a redo of the Swindle mold in Hound colors, which is, you know, admirable. That's a cool little shout out they got there. My eye itches. But we're starting to get repetitive. Whereas we were repetitive, and it is a little bit more like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing here. You're changing it up. We're repetitive, but we're changing some stuff up. It kind of changes the dynamic of the whole play pattern. We're starting to just get straight up repetitive now, is what we're starting to do. I mean, with the exception of new paint jobs, Wheeljack is probably going to be the best one out of that wave 6, because he's changed so much. It's sucky that he's out of the breakdown mold, because if you were asking me what my least favorite deluxe mold was from out of Combiner Wars, I'd say breakdown. He's cool, but his hips and legs and all that crap, it just doesn't stay stable. It's a faulty design. I don't know how else they could have done it, but that doesn't change the fact that the design of him is not that great. So I'm worried that wave 6 is going to be when we seriously do jump the shark, and it's like, oh, we've had this really good run, and now it's just kind of going like at the very end, and Hasbro just goes, just keep pushing out repaints. There's only so much you can do. Like, I think, honestly, the Smokescreen mold, and my favorite Combiner Wars, I said who my least favorite was. My favorite Combiner Wars figure so far is Prowl from wave 4. Because I love the Dead End mold. That's my favorite mold. I like the design of Streetwise. I liked him better than Dead End. So Streetwise was my favorite for a while. And then I got Prowl, and his colors, his head sculpt, and his, you know, posability, his tightness is a whole lot better. And that could just be me. Prowl's my favorite, though. He has a whole lot more that I like than Streetwise. So Prowl's my favorite. I think 3 uses of a mold is the maximum we're going to get, because the next time they release that mold is going to be a Smokescreen. And if it looked like Dead End, if we went back to the Dead End mold, I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with it. But he's the police car mold, and the siren just kind of painted blue, like, oh, don't pay attention to the siren. It's not actually there. It's stupid. You can only get a certain amount of usage out of a mold. There's not, you know, I think 3 is the maximum. Because let's see here. Mirage and Dragstrip, they got 2 uses. Adequate. We got 2 uses and then a third one on the way of the Alpha Bravo mode. All right. We got 2 uses of off-road and then an upgrade for first aid. You know, all right. Aerial bots are pretty cool. No one's really tinkered with the aerial bots so far. Like Skydive and Air Raid are still not touched. They haven't messed with them yet, but we're getting Firefly as blast off. So like I said, you see a pattern here? We have 2 to 3 uses of each mold so far, the deluxes. There's not much more they can do with that. Once they hit the 4th and 5th use of a mold, people are going to be like, I got that. Got it already. For me, there's no reason to buy a Smokescreen because I already have Prowl. Prowl does everything I want. Prowl's my favorite. I don't see a lot of Smokescreen that's going to change my mind, to be honest with you. So I'm concerned for Combiner Wars that it's going to end up, you know, taking a dive. We're just going to go into the repaints after repaints after repaints after repaints. I don't want that to happen because this is a really cool little toy line. I really want us to continue to move forward. And I think Hasbro needs to realize that, number one, hey, take that scattershot design. Why don't you go back to the drawing board with that one and kind of tinker with him a little bit, because there's not a lot of benefit to buying that scattershot mold if he's going to look like that. Also, I need the rest of the Technobots, please. That'd be nice. Thank you. But yeah, the White Optimus, they fixed his hips, by the way. So Wave 4. Yeah, Wave 4. The Wave 4 Voyagers. Those should be out now because I have the Wave 4 Deluxes. Wave 4 Voyagers have fixed hips. So I spent $10 and fixed both my hips on Optimus and Motormaster. But if you want to buy one from the store with fixed hips, Motormaster's in Wave 4. So you can get a new Motormaster. And you can get the White Optimus with fixed hips. You know, that's your prerogative, whatever you want to do. Now, that's good when they do mold revisions and fix stuff. But when they do mold revisions or make it a new character and they don't fix stuff, there's where it gets repetitive. See what I'm saying? So, yeah, and I'm also concerned as to, by the way, I said it's repetitive a lot to personify how repetitive it is. See what I did there? It's Saccomology. I'm also concerned for Combiner Wars because we're about to hit a lull because the Bruticus wave is supposed to hit in spring of 2016. Now, spring 2016, I don't know if y'all have checked the calendar. It's September right now. It's September. We still have, well, we're not even really, we're about halfway through September. It's the 15th today. So we're about right here. We still got the rest of September, October, November, and December. January, February, and then March, April. So we got a couple months to go, really. You know, 3, 4, about 6 months. We got about half a year until spring happens. And that's Wave 5. Wave 5 is supposed to hit in 6 months. Wave 4 is already out. What are we going to do for 6 months? Christmas is coming out. Are they wanting everybody to buy Devastator? I don't know. I just got to thinking the other day that if Wave 4 is already hitting store shelves and they're advertising Wave 5 to be spring 2016, what are they going to do between that? Is Combiner Wars just going to be gone for a little bit? That's a good way to lose some of your fan base, is just have something like, oh, by the way, we'll be back in forever. Maybe they're doing it because they need to balance out stock. Maybe they're doing it because they want to push Devastator for Christmas. If they do, that's fine. But I'm just saying, we're going to hit a low point. And if they don't come back with something big, something that's going to wow the fan base, Combiner Wars may just be done. And I'm kind of scared that it's going to be over because I like it. But I'm not going to waste money on it if they don't make good decisions. So I want to encourage, if Hasbro is watching this, hello. I don't know why you're watching this. I want to encourage them to think a little bit further outside the box. Take that Computron idea, Betatron, get rid of Betatron. What are you doing? That's stupid. You can't tell me anybody else in the world is using Computron as a name. That's totally, you can't tell me they don't have the name rights for that. You can use the Silverbolt mold. Go for it. But change it up. Make it different. Make it new. Do some revisions. Maybe change up the hip ratchets. Something I have a problem with from Combiner Wars is all of them like to lean backwards. Strengthen up those hip ratchets a little bit. Maybe, see how he wiggles? Strengthen those up. They all like to lean one way or the other. Defensor's the only one that leans forward. Straighten up those hips a little bit. Do some tinkering, make him better. You can do it. You've done it with Optimus and Motormaster for Wave 4. That's what I'm saying. Don't be repetitive. Don't just keep pushing out the same thing over and over and over under a different paint color and expect us to be like, oh yeah, sure, okay, yeah, that works. I'll buy that. I'll pay $82 for a deluxe or whatever it is they're going for now. Prices. What is up with that? Inflation? Bull crap. Anyway, so yeah, Combiner Wars so far. Oh, I thought I was lagging. So anyway, Combiner Wars so far is pretty. What is this right here? I don't know what that is. Oh, wait. Oh, that's you. Wow, okay. I saw this and I was like, is that a little window? Combiner Wars so far has been good, but I'm scared that we're about to max out and that we're about to take a dive in terms of what Combiner Wars can do for us. We've had a good run, so if it ends now, I mean, it'll be upsetting, but, you know, I want Bruticus to come out before Combiner Wars gets put in the ground. We've had a good run so far. I mean, there's been a lot of really cool stuff that come out of it, that has come out of it. And, you know, I just kind of hope that we don't jump the shark. I'm scared we will, but hopefully we don't. So, but yeah, that's basically what I think about this whole deal so far. I'm not exactly certain where we're going, what's going on, what the people at Hasbro, come on, stand up, Optimus, what the people at Hasbro are thinking, what they're even wanting to do. Maybe they want to move on to something. Maybe they want to do that Titan Wars thing. I don't know. But Combiner Wars I like. And I really wish that it has a couple more. Because they said originally, they said it's supposed to run for 2 years. I want it to go for that long and have original content. Make us new deluxes. Make us new Voyagers. Make us new stuff. They said they're not going to do Beast Combiners. Why don't you make one and kind of make some repaints off of that? Not 3 or 4, but, you know, make a Beast Combiner. Change it up. So for me, all the Combiner Wars guys are right here. This is good. I may just stick to this. I may just have them block me. I'll just hide back here. Be like, I'm just going to go down here. Yeah, so anyway, those are my thoughts on Combiner Wars so far. And I like it, but we need to be careful because we're on that edge of this could either go really good or this could either go really bad. So anyway, thanks for checking this out, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.